Watching that report in the studio, Felicity Huston, former Commissioner for Public Appointments, and Jane Morrice, who's just been appointed a Vice President of the European Economic and Social Committee in Brussels. Felicity Huston, why are more women not breaking through at senior levels in law?
Oh, I know, it's rather depressing, isn't it? I was thinking of 30 years ago as a young student, all the young female lawyers who would have been at university with me, and you wonder where they all are. They haven't become judges. I think one of the problems in the legal profession is that, as was said in your film, women tend to be channelled into certain areas within the law which don't lend themselves then to moving on to the next stage of becoming a member of the judiciary. And I think that's, hopefully those young women have all heard that very clearly, that they need to plan their career.
Does it have anything to do with the fact that they get married and they have children and that becomes a distraction?
Well,
that's
that's an issue not just within the legal profession, but with any career pattern. Women have this unfortunate habit of having children, and then they have to go home in the evening and make meals and bath babies and do homeworks and so on. And I have to say that doesn't tend to be quite the same with dads.
So what you're saying is that in the legal profession they are being basically corralled into silos?
Well, I think they are certainly encouraged to work in the more the family environment, the family law environment. They're encouraged to go into litigation where there'll be a lot of mediation and so on. They would tend to not be encouraged so much to go in and stand up and argue in the hard criminal cases.
Jane Morrice, is it a problem in public life generally?
It certainly is, without question. And in fact, in preparation for this, I had a look at the statistics Europe-wide, and not just judiciary, but looking at, for example, 96% of chairmen in Europe are men. 96%. 86% of non-executive board members Europe-wide are men. There's a huge gap.
Is that because women are not crying foul loudly enough?
Well, they're starting to. Commissioner Reding in Brussels has put forward a directive, and the Economic and Social Committee has an opinion on it, trying to get more women on boards. They're looking for 40% of non-executive positions on boards to be women by 2020.
What are the obstacles? And is it that women just have a lower expectation?
There's a combination. Obviously, there's a problem about reconciling work and family life. Obviously, there's a problem of the culture of the old boys club, which is very, very prevalent, certainly in this part of the world. And also, there's a problem with self-confidence. And interesting, in my work, I've also been chair of the Women in Local Councils initiative here, and it's been quite successful in what it's doing, getting women into local councils. Chief executives, women chief executives are coming to the fore now in local councils, and that's very important.
Felicity Huston, in your experience, what have the obstacles been?
I think it's a combination of things. It's the time commitment, it's the balancing, the juggle, as they refer to it. The process to apply, particularly for public bodies, is very off-putting to women. Their particular skills are not necessarily recognised by the three men who are interviewing them for the particular position. Those sort of problems.
If you had the opportunity, what would you do?
Oh, I would stop competency-based interviewing, which anybody who's watching this who has applied for public appointment will know is a horrendous system. I would actually ask people why they wanted to apply for a public body, what they thought they would bring to it, and how they thought they might provide better services for us, rather than asking them to give an example of their involvement in preparing a strategic plan.
Jane Morrice, Fiona Bagnall has spoken out publicly. There aren't always women prepared to come in and join a studio discussion, unlike you two tonight.
Well, it's a pity, because in fact that's another initiative I'm involved in, Women Seen and Heard, getting more women onto the media to act as role models in all different areas. It's very, very important.
Thank you both very much indeed for coming in tonight. Now, coming up